Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to be answering the biggest question I get about this game, Splendor Duel, which is how does it differ from Splendor? For those of you who have played Splendor before, maybe even as a two-player game, and are considering Splendor Duel, how does it differ, and are the differences big enough to validate purchasing this game if you already own and like Splendor? So let's talk about it. The first way this differs here is just how you win. You can win by getting 20 total points, just as you would in Splendor, just your cumulative points. You can win by getting 10 points of any single color, so maybe 10 of green or 10 of black, etc. That is a second completely separate way to win. And the third completely separate way to win is to have 10 of these crowns. You can see up here, this card has 2 of them. There's 1 down here, so you can accumulate those crowns instead of points. If you have 10 crowns, regardless of the number of total points you have, you can win in that way as well. Of course, how you select these tokens is going to be different as well. You can see they're laid out here on a board. So how you go about selecting these, you're going to select 3 of them in any way as long as they're connected diagonally, vertically, horizontally. There are a couple limitations in there, but we won't get into the details. You're essentially just going to pick them up off the board like that. And then when you spend these tokens, they're going to go into this bag here. They don't go right back into the bank, so to speak. They go into this bag and they wait for the board to be refreshed. And that is the third big difference of this game and Splendor Duel. These tokens don't come back into the game until one player decides to refresh the board. And that's where these 3 privileges come into play. These little scrolls, these are called privileges. If I decide to refresh the board and put the remaining tokens that are in the bag onto the board, that gives me an advantage, so my opponent would get one of these privileges. And these privileges, you're able to spend them before your turn, at the very start of your turn, to be able to take an additional token off the board there. So they do have a little bit of an advantage. So just like when you refresh the board, you give one away, you would return any privilege you have when you spend it. So that is a way, those privileges and refreshing the board, how it differs from regular Splendor. In addition, up here, these bonuses you get are not for completing maybe 3 reds, 3 whites, 3 blacks, etc. You get these by the number of crowns you have. So you get your first one by getting 3 of these crowns, and you get your second one when you hit 6. So you can get up to 2 of these as you go through the games by collecting crowns. Whether or not you choose to win by crowns, that doesn't matter. You need 3 and then another 3 for a total of 6 to get up to 2 of these. And that is one of the ways that this differs from regular Splendor. And finally, the last big way it differs from Splendor is some of these cards have additional powers to them. Like this one, when you buy it, this symbol means you get another turn immediately following it. There's cards like this one, which can be any color you want them to be, as long as you have a color down there already to add them to that pile. There is this one, which lets you steal a token from your opponent. So they have different actions associated with them, and that is a little unique. And one of the ways that Splendor Duel differs from regular Splendor. So there you have it. Those are the main differences in the game. You know, I enjoy playing Splendor, the base game. I even enjoy it as a 2-player game, but I also like Splendor Duel a lot as well. It's similar enough where you probably wouldn't want to play Splendor and then Splendor Duel back to back because they have enough overlap and similarities. But it's different enough where I'd recommend trying it out. Personally, as a 2-player game, I like Splendor Duel a little bit more. My girlfriend likes regular Splendor as a 2-player game a little bit more. I think this has a few more things to consider and think about. It's just different enough where it's its own kind of unique game, but very similar where it's easy to pick up for all you Splendor players out there, and very, very enjoyable. Overall, if you're on the fence about this, definitely recommend giving it a shot.